Got him. Biggin. Oh, he just sucked it under. Got him. That's a big one. Stay on there. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We have phenomenal weather fishing conditions this morning, so I'm out here on the lake trying to capitalize on the great weather. We had a little rain system come through last night, and it's kind of carried over into this morning. It's just barely sprinkling right now, but you can kind of tell by looking around. We have completely overcast skies, and the clouds are supposed to break up at some point today, but I really don't see that happening anytime soon. It's just really, really cloudy, and it feels phenomenal out here. It's about 75 degrees right now. The high is only like 85, which is so great because for the last week, or really for the last like month or month and a half, the highs have been, you know, mid 90s up to 100. So that has made the fishing very tough, especially on this fishery here. This is a shallow lake, and these fish, they get tough to catch when the water gets that hot. They tuck up really tight underneath the aquatic vegetation, you know, deep underneath the lily pads, underneath the grass mats, and they kind of just ghost. I mean, there's even been a bunch of shad out here for them to eat, but they're just like, we're not into it. They're not out here eating the shad or nothing. But today we're gonna try to change that. It's September the 3rd. So we're into September now. We are starting to enter the fall transition period. The water temps are going to start cooling down, and hopefully that means that the fish are going to start biting once again. And I'm also hoping that with that rain, that'll get them going too, because like I said, fishing's been very tough recently. I haven't caught a whole lot out here, but there's not a better time than now to start catching some more fish. So what we're gonna do, there's a little spot out here in front of me. There's a little like creek, a little drain that comes into the lake up here. There's a swampy area, and I think we had enough rain that we can have some water, some fresh water moving into the lake. So that's a good spot for us to start, try to see if there's any fish hanging out there. But if we don't catch anything there, once we catch the fish that are there, we're gonna move out back this way. There's some large, expansive lily pad fields, and we're gonna try to cover as much water as we can through that. There's a lot of good holes where the fish could be ambushing little bait fish or frogs or just whatever, and hopefully they'll be sticking their nose on the edge of those pads and they'll be willing to eat our baits. The plan for today is to mainly throw this guy right here. You saw this on a video a couple videos ago. It's just that tropical white little spro frog. I really love a frog this time of year just to go through the heavy cover, and I love white frogs on cloudy days. So hopefully we'll be able to get the job done with that. Hopefully we'll be able to catch our first bass of September. So guys, if y'all are excited to join along with me out here on this fishing adventure, I would greatly appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button for me. And if you're new and you've been watching for a while and you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of our future fishing uploads. We are getting pretty close to the 200,000 subscriber mark. It's a goal we've been wanting to hit for a while, and it would mean the world to us if we could achieve that goal by the end of the year. So if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button. Now let's get out here and let's hopefully catch the fish. Oh, shoot. Got him. Biggin. Biggin. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Get my anchor down. Oh, that's a good one. Woo-hoo. There we go. That's how you start the day right there. That's what I'm talking about. Get up here. There we go, guys. There's our first fish of the trip. Caught him on the 6th Sense Dogma 100 up here in some skinny water. I saw a little bit of fish activity. I couldn't tell if they were bass or if they were carp. I guess they were bass. And I just threw that top water up in there. It's literally like 8 inches of water up there. I threw out, had a bite, missed it, threw back in there, and this guy, it just exploded on it. Looked a lot bigger in the shallow water, but that's still a really stocky and healthy looking bass. 2.5 pounds or so. Try to get him unhooked without getting hooked myself. Yeah, that right there is how you get things started. Really chunky, 2.5 pound bass or so. We'll send him back, and we'll get back in there so we can get another one. I'm not sure if that was the same fish that bit at the first cast, but seems like there's multiple fish right here in this area. I mean, it is so shallow. I can literally see the bottom, but he just came out of nowhere and smoked this thing. That's that Dogma 100 sized topwater walking bait. There's a bunch of small shad out here. Normally I like the bigger one. I think it's the 115 size. But since there are a bunch of shad that are about this size, I feel like this is the move. So we're gonna throw back in there, see if we can get another one. Oh, eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it. Oh, oh my gosh. Oh, how did I miss him? Oh, he just sucked it under. Just came up and sucked it under. That was epic. Oh, that was crazy. That was the most least committal bite ever. Whew. In the boat. We just pulled a little bit further back up in here where we just caught that guy on the dogma, and we've got ourselves another nice bass. About the same size, really just healthy looking, stocky. That's a good looking fish. Thick tail. Nice little 2.5 pounder. I saw a tiny little weight coming up to it and he just slurped it under. Like there was no splash at all. Just my frog was gone. I'll take it though. Heck yeah. Second fish. Send you back. And I saw another fish swirl, like right whenever I set the hook. That fish is going back there to tell his buddies. He said, don't eat the frogs. That's not exactly what you want. You don't want the fish to swim back in there and tell his buddies, but it might be all right. So I saw one come up right to the right of that. Oh, shoot. Oh. There we go. That's where I saw that second fish swirl. Don't know if it's a bass or not, but only one way to find out. All right, well, that first spot was pretty good to us. We caught 2 nice bass out of it. You couldn't really ask for a whole lot more out of that tiny little spot. But now we are going to start making our way out here into the big lily pad field. We're going to start picking apart some of the holes and some of the lanes in the lily pads. It's not sprinkling anymore. We've had the sun peek out here and there. We still have our clouds, but it's starting to get a little bit brighter and the wind has started to pick up a little bit. So hopefully it doesn't mess up our topwater bite. But yeah, we're gonna head out there. Hopefully we catch a couple more fish on the frog. Oh, what's the deal? Oh my God. You've got to be kidding. Got it. Get up here. Get up here. I can't tell how big this fish is. Feels pretty decent. Ah, not too bad. Get up here. Get up here. Woo. Gotcha. Gotcha. Woo, another nice fish. Heck yeah. Well, as you guys can see, we have made our way out here to some thicker lily pads. I was fishing a little lane right through the middle of them, and this guy came up and smacked it. I actually was not looking when this fish came up and ate it, but I knew that he blew up in the area of my frog, so I decided to set the hook anyways, and we got him. Another fish, 2.5 pounds or so. Gotta love, there's another one just camped right there. There's a lot of fish out here coming up. That's the first one I've been able to get to bite. But I mean, we are in a really, really prime frogging location right here. We got a lot of nice, thick green pads, a bunch of holes out here within them. Got some lanes. I'm seeing some shad jumping around. So I wouldn't be surprised if we started getting into them a little bit more thicker than we have. That's a big one. Stay on there. Stay on there. Stay on there. Stay on there. These are nice fish. Woo! Stay on there. Over the top of the pads, baby. I gotta keep them out of the cover. Keep them up. Keep them up. Oh, that's a good fish. Yes, sir. That's our biggest so far, I think. We get him in the boat. He's not a lot bigger. Oh, nice bass. Heck yeah. He's gonna be closer to 3. He's probably 2 3/4, but I think that's our biggest one so far. Kind of got a hook down in the bottom of his mouth. Spro frog in his face. I was a little bit worried at first that I hooked him down in the tongue, which normally isn't great. They start bleeding a lot, but he was just fine.
What a beautiful bass. These fish are just so green out here. They match the lily pads just so perfectly. He came up and clobbered that frog all the way out there. But as you guys saw, I had to come through a bunch of pads to get him back to the boat. So sick. Send him back. That was awesome. It's tiring though, running through those pads. You gotta have heavy duty gear. I'm using the 6th Sense Lux Series rod. This is a 7-foot 2-inch extra heavy frog flipping rod, and it is just a broom handle. I'm using a high-speed reel spooled with 50-pound braid. Honestly, could be probably using 65-pound braid to get through this stuff a little bit better, but 50-pound is pretty universal for me whenever I'm using a frog. If I was to come out here again tomorrow, I would probably spool up some 65-pound just because this stuff is so thick out here. And it really does make a difference when you're trying to cut through these lily pads.
Well guys, we didn't do as well as I initially hoped we were going to out there in the thick lily pads, but we were able to get 2 nice bass in the boat. Had a couple of other blowups that I wasn't able to capitalize on, but you know, that was pretty much it. I fished out there for about 2.5 hours maybe, and I think I had 5 bites total. Which isn't bad considering how tough fishing has been out here, but I thought it was gonna be better with these great weather fishing conditions. We're probably just a little bit early in the season. I think that maybe in a couple of weeks when it starts to cool down a little bit more, the fish will really start going crazy out there in those pad lanes and those little holes in the lily pads. But we're not completely done with our outing just yet. The sun is starting to peek out now and it's kind of starting to feel kind of warm again. But we're gonna go back and hit that little canal, little creek area that we started in and see if maybe it has reloaded with 1 or 2 more fish. We're gonna throw that frog on top of that sloppy stuff and hopefully get 1 more to blow up on it. So we're gonna make our way back over there. Let's see if there's anything left to be caught. It doesn't look like we're gonna get our 5th fish today. Fish back here in this little cut again, went all the way back in the back of it. It looked juicy, but I guess we caught the only fish that lived here today. So I guess we're gonna pack it in. We're gonna head back in towards the house, and I guess I'll catch you guys whenever we get there. All right guys, we're back here at the house. I was gonna see if Baby C or Jay wanted to make an appearance, but Cypress is in there taking a nap, so I figured we'll just wrap it up out here. The weather, it's gorgeous out here. Those clouds have drifted away. The sun is out, but it's really not that hot. It just feels so good out here today. I'll probably go back out there and do a little bit more fishing this afternoon. But guys, what y'all saw today was pretty much on par with what the fishing has been like out here on the home lake. A few fish here and there in the lily pads, a few on walking style topwater baits. I've caught a few dabbling out in some deeper creek channel areas, but for the most part, it's been pretty slow, as you guys saw. There's definitely some good fish to be caught out there, but you're gonna really have to work for them. And pretty much if you're not throwing a frog, you're not gonna catch that many fish. So real quick, I wanna recap the gear I was using. I kind of touched on it earlier on the video, but most of the fish I caught today came on this guy right here. It's been a lifesaver as of late. It's just a Spro Bronzeye 65 frog, just white, tropical white color. Tried and true. I mean, I feel like this has pretty much been the standard for hollow-bodied frogs for as long as they've been out. It's a great bait. Just throwing it on the 6th Sense Lux Series 7-foot 2-inch extra heavy rod. When you're frogging heavy cover, you want to have something super stiff that you can rip the fish out of cover with. And then I'm using 50-pound braid, and like I said, probably could have been using 65 out there, but probably maybe help me link up with a few of those fish, but I don't know. And then as far as the reel goes, this is a Shimano little SLX reel. It's a nice little budget-friendly reel. 7.2-to-1 gear ratio. It's really all you need for frog and braid, stiff rod, fast reel. And then you saw me catch that first fish. On this little guy right here, this is gonna get a lot of play as we get more into fall. That's that 6th Sense Dogma 100 walking style topwater bait. There's gonna be a lot of shad start to move on this end of the lake, and there's gonna be bass just ganging up on them and eating them very, very soon. Guys, we are rapidly approaching one of our favorite times of the year to bass fish, which is fall time. The fishing normally starts to really heat up like the last 2 weeks of September and then throughout the entire month of October. So we are very much looking forward to that. There should be a lot of bass to be caught, as well as crappie and catfish, and really just everything starts to bite better as the water starts to cool off. So be on the lookout for those future fishing adventures because it's gonna be really, really awesome. But guys, I'm gonna say thank you so much for hanging out with me out there on the lake. It was a little bit of a grind, but it was still fun to get out there and catch a few bass for y'all. If y'all enjoyed this video and you got something out of it, I would appreciate it if you could leave a thumbs up on this video. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of our future fishing adventures. I'm Cole Harkin and I will catch ya on the next one. Bye guys.